Yeah, okay, guys. Good evening once again, and welcome to blockchainun's weekly dev sessions. So, as always, today we'll be doing a deep dive into HTML and CSS. So, this is the sixth episode in our series of mastering HTML and CSS. And today on the broadcast, we have with us Emanuela Aguini, and she'll be our tutor for tonight. So please, as you join in, kindly get the link and share to others, share on WhatsApp, share on Twitter. Let's get as much persons as possible into the streaming tonight. There's going to be a lot of information shared. There's going to be a lot of value shared. Tonight is value packed. So as you join in, get the link and share it so we can have a lot of persons benefiting from the wealth of knowledge Emanuela will be sharing tonight. So we'll be kicking off at exactly 8:50. We are so sorry we are behind time. We had some technical issues. So just get the link and share it so we can kick off as soon as possible. Okay, guys. Yeah. Good evening once again. If you are just joining us, welcome once again to Blockchain UNN's weekly dev session. And tonight we'll be continuing our series on mastering HTML and CSS, which we started a few weeks ago. And tonight we have with us Emanuela going. So Emanuela is the assistant development assistant lead at a blockchain UNN's development community, and she'll be the one tutoring us tonight. So please, as you join in, get the link and share to others. Let's have as much persons getting into the live stream tonight. So have more persons benefiting from the wealth of knowledge should be sharing tonight. So Emanuela, please, are you there?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening,
Yeah, good
Darlington. Good
evening.
evening,
Yeah,
everyone.
good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's exactly 8:51. So we'll be kicking off now. So over to you.
Okay. All right. So I will be sharing my screen now. Um. Okay. Darlington, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. All right. So quickly, I had imported this. I just want to quickly get this font. I had done this earlier, but I seem to have lost it. So let me just quickly get it. Why is it doing like that? Okay. So apparently it has been opening. So let's quickly get the yeah. Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. So we'll be kicking off. Before we start, I have to let me show what we want to achieve for tonight. Our session last week ended suddenly, and but basically we were getting the hang of what we were doing, and we'll just continue this week with this. So basically, we're trying to get our hands solid on media queries and how media queries work. So we'll be doing this week, and we'll try to be as fast as possible so that we can cover both the desktop view and the mobile view tonight. So this is what we want to achieve, and we'll be getting started immediately. So I have my style sheets created. I have my HTML documents created. This is what I downloaded from Front End Mentor. So this challenge is the single price grid component from Front End Mentor. So and this is what we'll be working on basically. So we'll get started immediately and try as much as possible to be fast with it. So, but before I do anything, I have to link my CSS to my HTML. So let's quickly do that. Styles.css. That's that. Let me open this with live server so I can confirm if my CSS is in. So let's try background color. So let me try to give the body a background color of red. Let's see if that's all right. So I have my CSS linked properly. So we'll be getting started immediately. So let's get back and take out this thread. This thread is actually very scary. Let's take it out. But we'll get started with our HTML as usual. So sorry, before we continue, Darlington, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Hi,
can.
Darlington.
I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to know if is my screen is my font bold enough?
Okay, yeah, it's bold on my system, but as always, let me just confirm from my phone.
Okay,
So,
okay.
is this the font we used last time? Yeah, it's bold on my phone too.
Okay. Yeah. This is what we used the last time. So all right, so yeah, let's quickly get our HTML set up and then we'll carry on. So this is the HTML document that comes along with the file, the starter file from Front End Mentor. So we try to set it up. We have the favicon that they put in for us, and then I have just put in my CSS file. So this is the title, everything. I'm actually cool with this whole part. So but this style document, this style is basically what they are giving us for the attribution. This is the attribution part of it, where you can, like last week, like we discussed last week, attribution is where you can put in what you've done. You can say that this challenge was given by Front End Mentor, and then it's coded by, you put your name in and all of that. So we'll get down to that anyway. So but this is the style for the attribution. So basically they have given it a font size of 11, text align of center, blah blah blah. So we'll leave this in here for now. I will come back to it, but let's just leave it in here for now. So that's it for our head section. We come into the body, and this is the text that they've given us for the body of this document. So let's quickly try to get this up, and then we'll get started. So this is the text I'm supposed to have in my body. So but as per HTML standard, I have to give it the right tags so that it will be easier for me to style when I get to the styling. So let's take a look at our documents. We can see what we have here. So basically what I have looks like, I have like a container, right? This entire card is like a container, and then I have like three separate containers inside it, basically. So let's try to get this let's try to put this in. So I'm going to have a div. I'm going to give a div with a class of container that will carry everything. As usual, guys, if there are any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat box. I'll be paying attention to the chat box so that if you have any questions, I'll take it from there. So I have my div. I have my div here. Let me push this text down so I can. Okay. To avoid cluttering our work, let me just take this out of here. Let me take the entire text out and put it in a text file so I can be picking them out from there. So just call it file or text. I'm just going to put my text here. Wow. I have to get that back. Okay. All right, so that's my text in here. So my HTML doesn't look too busy. So let's continue. So I have my class of container. Like I said, the container is this entire thing that we have here. So if you look, you can see that we have the container that is on top, and then we have the bottom container. But this bottom container is like, it's divided into two, right? So let's do that now. So inside my container, I'm going to have another div, basically. I'm going to have another div. This div is going to have a class of sub container. So this is the top div, and then I'm going to have a bottom container, like you must have guessed. All right, so that's that. I have the top container, I have the bottom container. So still inside the bottom container, this entire place, this entire green part that you can see, everything down here will be in the bottom container. Everything here will be inside the bottom container. So but if you look closely, you can see that there's also some kind of distinction even inside the bottom container. There's this part, and then there's this other part. So that simply translates to having two separate divs again. So I will still come inside my bottom container and give two extra divs. So let's give that div with a class of, I'm going to just call this the bottom one, and then the second one still inside the bottom container. I'm just going to call it bottom 2. So that's that. Before we carry on, let me quickly check and see if there are any questions. Okay. Which in I think let me just increase. It's actually 24, sha, but let me try to increase it further. Let's try 26. Um
Yeah, I think this is super visible now. 26 is very, very visible. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so let's carry on. So yeah, so I have my divs ready. But the truth is that even with this all these divs that I've put in, nothing really changes. You get, because if I open my HTML where I have it hosted, you can see that there's nothing here. Okay, I even took out the text, so there's really nothing here. And like as usual, in HTML, most containers, most block elements don't take any dimensions except you put something in it. So even if I have the divs and everything, you won't really see any difference in here. But let's carry on, Sha, and begin to put our content in and see how it goes. So I have my container, I have the top container, I have the bottom container. So let's look at the top container and put things inside it. So this is the entirety of what should be inside our top container. We have this heading, we have this. So looking at this, I might decide to give it decide to give it a I would definitely give this a heading element. So but I would want to go with H3 for this. So let me give it a H3. Um this says join our community. So I'm going to give this a H3 tag. This is inside our top container. So let me put this here. I'm going to give it a H3. Um, it says join our community. Take the text out of here and then put it in. All right. The next one goes 30-day hassle free. Blah blah blah. So this one now I'll most likely give this like a H5 or something. So let me get this again from here. Let's say H5. All right, so the last would be this place. This I will definitely give this a paragraph element, because from the looks of it, it's like it's not a heading now. So I'll just make this the paragraph element and just go with P. Oh, let me get the text. What's that? Gain access. Okay, all of that. So that's this. Okay. My top container is done. I will have to fix in the bottom container. So the bottom container has bottom one and bottom two. So let's do the bottom one. So for this, I would also give this a H5. Um let's get the text monthly subscription. This should be going inside here. All right, this would be a paragraph element. So this stuff here is it's actually the dollar sign. I'm sure you could have seen that from here. It's actually the dollar sign that's was in there. So but if you look at this, you'll see that even though I've given this a paragraph element, this one is obviously separate from this. So that means that to allow me style it better, I will have to put it in a span as usual. So let's do that. Um I'll put a span here. What's this? Okay, this looks better. So the rest of the text in there, which is this, I'll also put that in the paragraph element. Full access for less than $1. So this is also the dollar sign. No, check that. That's correct. The next should be our button element. I'm going to give it a button that says sign up. Um, all right. Okay, so I think that's that for bottom one. So for this one, let's just quickly do this. Why us would be in H5 again. So let's cut that out. But I'll put that in bottom too, like you must have guessed. Give some space here. Okay, so H5, why us? Every other thing will be like in a paragraph element. So first says tutorials by this is that
So, Manila, are you there? I think I'm having troubles hearing you. I don't know if you are speaking or
Yeah,
something.
I'm here. I'm here. So I was just basically
Okay, okay,
copying the text. So that's why I wasn't really saying anything. But I'm done with that.
okay,
So
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to
I'm
confirm
basically
yesterday. Yeah.
yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Sorry. So I'm basically done with what I have in my file. So I can take this out. Um, don't need to save that. So I'm done with that. So I think our HTML is taking shape. So this stuff here, let's find out what this thing is supposed to be. So pair and okay, and so that's pretty much it. Okay, the last part would be the footer. So let's get our footer set up. So attribution and everything. Challenge is by front end mentor, and it's coded by Manuela. So so because this is a link, I will just basically add in my Twitter handle and then This is, you can actually add any other link you want to add here, Sha, but I prefer to add my Twitter to front end mentor project. So that's pretty much it for our HTML. Let's see what it looks like here. Okay, so this is what we have so far. This is what we have. So I think we can get started with the CSS from here. So getting into CSS, the first thing we have to do is to import our, well, I thought I imported this earlier. Sorry, let me get that stuff again. I keep the fonts, I thought I imported it earlier. I don't know what's going on. Let me quickly get it. Sorry about that. Ish. All right, so that's the fonts we'll be using as directed by front end mentor. So if you open the style guide, let's just take a quick look at the style guide. So this is what we have. So this is where I got the fonts from, and in this way it's 400 and 700. So this is the fonts we'll be working with. So import my fonts, that's done. So we'll get started styling. So for my body element, definitely everything inside it will have a font. I don't have two fonts, so I can, it's safe to give this a font from here. Give everything here a font of the color as the font I'm working with, and a fallback of sans serif in case it's not available. Then that's that. So the next would be to style this stuff. So, but let me give a background color first. This background is not actually white, so I'm just going to give it a background color. This blue. I think this should come close to what I need. Yes, okay, that's close. So their style guide says the font, the body should be a font of 16 pixels. So let me also put that in quickly. And then style our container font size of 16 pixels. So that's that for the body. So let me just get into the container quickly. So my container, I'll give it a width of for the container, I want it to take 50% of the viewport width for desktop. I want it to have a margin of auto. So give me that space I need. Let me see. Okay, it's starting to take shape. So I'm going to give this a top margin. It's too close to the top over here, so I want to bring it down a little bit. So I'm going to give it a brief margin top, so it's more towards the center. So let me try 50 pixels and see what that does for us. Okay, see what I have here. Uh, okay. So for the top container, the first thing is that it has a background color of white. Let's begin to see if there's some difference. Okay, so you can see the top container looking like that now. So it's starting to look different. So it has a background color of white. The text color in there. Okay. I'll have to start my H5 separately, my H3. But for this is the paragraph element. So let me give the container a border radius so it looks like what we're working with. Let me give this a border radius quickly of 10 pixels. Um okay, that's not visible yet. But let's continue. Darlington, can you still hear me? Sorry. I think I'm a bit low. Can you hear me, Darlington? Hi, Darlington, can you hear me? Oh, I think I'm awful. Sorry guys, can anyone hear me? If you can hear me, can you please comment? Can you make a comment so I can be sure that you can hear me? Sorry, can anyone hear me? Okay. It doesn't show if there's an issue with my network, sha. So let me just carry on. I think, well, if there's a problem, okay. You guys can hear me. All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Let's carry on now. I wanted to be sure. Okay, so I was going with this. So I've given my top container a background color of white. So I'm going to style these two components first of all. So let me get back to my CSS. The first thing I would want to style is the H3, which is inside the top container. I'm going to select it from here. The top container H3, that's this particular one. So for me to style it, I want to give it a color. Let's check the color that they provided in the style guide. Let's see. Okay. Join our community. That should be green. Okay. I think this is it. Let's try this. Let's try that and see if that's all we need. Okay, that's exactly the color I'm looking for. So let's continue. So I'm going to increase the font size because obviously the font over there looks small. So I'm going to increase the font size. Let's give it a font size of 22 pixels. Okay. Okay, that's it. All right. So the next would be to style my H5. Same thing over here. The container H5. So my H5, I want to get it to look like this stuff. So also I'm going to give it a color. Next color of let me see if they provided the color. Okay, has to be this. And that's the color I need. I'm going to also increase the font size. In pixels. Okay, that's starting to look like it. All right, so my container is not really showing. I don't like that. Let me see if adding shadow to it will make it show, because my container doesn't really have a border. But let me give it a border first. I want my container to show so that everything will actually start to look like what I'm doing. So let me just try to give it I'll take this border out anyway. 1 pixel solid red. I like red, I don't know why. Always using red. Okay, so you can see my container now is starting to look like what I want it to look like. Let me leave this way. I will take the red out anyway, because the red is obviously not part of what we're trying to achieve over here. So, but I'll take it out. So if you look closely, you can see that this stuff has some kind of it has some kind of shadow beneath it. So let me just quickly do that. Let me just give it a box shadow element, so that we can be sure that we're done with the container from here. So I'm going to give it a box shadow. So I'm going to give it 1 pixel for the horizontal, 1 pixel vertical. So 3 pixel overlay, and then light gray. Light gray should do it. If light gray doesn't work, I have to use. Okay. That works. That works. I hope you can see it, but the shadow I want, the box shadow I want, is appearing there. So that's. I'll take out this red when I'm comfortable with what I have so far. So let's continue with the containers. So my top container now, looking at it over here, I have some kind of space here, which I don't like, all of this stuff. So let me just try to style this to an extent. So let's see what we can add to that top container to make it look good. So I have the background color already. Um Let me try to give it some padding and see if padding works. Okay. Huh? Okay, padding of 2 rem. Okay. Let's compare it to what we have and see if that looks good. Okay, let's go with that for now. Let's go with that for now until if there's any need to change it, we'll come back to that. So, but while we're here, let me just give it a border radius too, so that it doesn't have these sharp edges that it has over here. Like you can see, it has some kind of sharp edge, which is not supposed to be so. So let me come back here and give it border radius. Remember how we add border radius for where we are trying not to select everything. I'm going to give it a border radius. I initially gave my container a border radius of 10 pixels. So for this one now, I will maintain that 10 pixels, but obviously not for every side. So I'm going to give 10 pixels to the top left. I'm going to give 10 pixels to the top right. That's these two areas, top left, and then top right over here. And then these other two parts will be 0, because I don't want them to have that radius. So I'm going to give 0, 0. Okay, yeah. So that has gone away. Exactly. So for now we can say that we are almost done um with our top container, but we have to work on this part. The paragraph element doesn't exactly look like this yet. It doesn't exactly look like this part yet. So let me quickly do that. So that should be for the next element I want to style over here. Should be my top container paragraph. The paragraph element. So for that, I will give it a color. So for this, I have the color wasn't really provided here, so I had to get the color. Oh, okay. I think this is the color here. Well, anyway, there are some colors that weren't provided that I had to get myself. So let me see if this is the color I'm looking for. I had to write out some colors over here that we'll be working with, so that we can work faster. Okay, that's actually the color I need. So I have this, and comparing it to this, it's not exactly this is a bit more spaced out. So let me just give this a line height. Let me just quickly give this a line height of about 1.5, not too much. All right, I think that's better. Let's try to. Okay, I think it looks good. Compared to this is not so spaced out. All right, let's just stick to 1.5. Let's just stick to 1.5 or 1.7, right? I think this goes better. So let's just continue with that. So
Yeah,
that's
I
that.
think this
That's
is
done.
better.
Okay, okay. Thank you. All right, so let's continue with the bottom container. I think we are basically done with what we have to do for the top for now. If there are any other changes that we'll have to do, we'll come back to them. So for my bottom container, I have two components, right? I have this, and I have this. So I want to do something first of all. Before I style the entire bottom container, I want to give this a color and give this a color. I mean the background colors. Let's give them the background colors so that what we are doing, we can easily be seeing them. So I have my bottom one class div rather. I have the bottom one. If you can remember from our HTML, the bottom one is the first bottom container, and then the second one is bottom two. So the bottom one, I want to give the a background color. So background color of green. I'm not sure the color was provided here. It says cyan. Cyan is the color I used for is the color I used for my H5, right? H3. Let's see. The H3 is this. Okay. I think this is the color, the same color basically. So let's take that shot and see if it works. I'm going to give that as a background color to bottom one here. Okay, yeah, that looks like it. And then the next should be bottom two. I'll also give this a background color. So that's color now. I think that's the color that wasn't provided for us. This particular color is a bit lighter than the other one. So yeah, it wasn't given here. So I had to figure that out. So let me check where I wrote it out. The bottom two color, yeah, has to be this 4 B B9. Okay, yes, I think this is it. I think this is it. So, um, comparing this to this, okay, that's starting to look like it. Anyway, that's the colors we are looking out for. So, let's get into styling. Because I just wanted to give these colors, but before we get into them, we have to do something to the bottom container. So let's get back there. So when you look at these two elements now, remember we have this as an entire div. We have this whole place as an entire div. Then we have a div here and a div here. So if you can remember from our last lesson and from basically general knowledge of CSS, you know that when you're trying to place two elements side by side, um most times, not all the time anyway, but most of the time, flexbox is always what will come to your rescue when you look at this. So I'm going to use um display flex on this to place them side by side for me. So I'm going to give this the bottom container a display of flex. So as usual, we know that the usual flex direction is horizontal. So I'm going to give this, but yeah, as you can see, this is what we have. You get it. It has placed them side by side for me, but the funny thing now is that there's still space left over here. So we're going to find out why. Why is that? It's because these two things don't have a. I've not given them a width yet. As usual, you know that in CSS when you're dealing with block elements like div or anything, the size they take is the size of the content inside it. So if you take a look now, you see that where my div ends is where the text inside it ends. Where the content ends, that's where the div ends. There's no extra space. The same thing with this one too. It starts and ends where the text ends. So basically, it's this content inside it that is giving it a shape. So if I'm to take the contents out now, you see that you will not see this div again. This particular div, you will most likely not see it because it takes the size of the content inside it. But anyway, this is definitely what I'm trying to achieve. So I will have to give a weight to these two stuff. So I'm going to give my bottom one. I will have to give it a width of 50% because I am trying to get it to take 50% of the container that it's contained in. As we can see from here, this is basically divided into half half. So this takes half, this takes half. So basically that means this place is taking 50%, this place is taking 50% of this entire container. So that's the same thing I'm trying to achieve here. So I want this to take 50%. I want this one too to take the remaining 50%. Let's see. Okay, that's better. So this is what I want to achieve. So at this point, if you take a look closely, you see that this thing is picking out here. So I will have to apply the border radius as usual here so that it aligns with the border radius of the entire container that I'm working with. So here and here, I'm going to give it a border radius. But then these are two different containers, right? So this is bottom one. I will have to apply a different border radius to bottom one, a different border radius to bottom two. So let's get back the border radius. So the top takes 0, um top left takes 0, top right takes 0, bottom right takes 0, bottom left will take 10 pixels. So the bottom left I'm trying to give a border radius. As you can see here, it has aligned. So this is what I want to give. So the same thing will apply here. Here will take 0, here will take 0, this place will take 10, and this other place will take 0. As if you recall, I said last week that it goes in a clockwise direction. So that's how we go. So this place will take 0, 0, 10, and 0. So let's do that. So for bottom two, I will also give a border radius. So next one takes 0, 0. The next one takes 10 pixels. The last one takes 0. Let's save it and see. Okay, so this is what I want. So I think it's safe to remove our red background now so that it stops looking the red border rather. So it stops looking funny. So let me take that out. Okay, so this is what I want my stuff to look like. I still feel like this is still a bit too close to the top, so I'm going to bring it down a bit because this one is definitely in the center of the web page. So I'm going to add some. Where's that margin top? Let me add some pixels to it and see if it comes down. Okay. Okay, well, I think we can work with that share for now. So that's that. So so far this is what I have. So I will just get into styling this and this quickly so that we can go ahead. So for this, I'm going to for my bottom one, I'm going to give this I'm going to give it some padding. If you look here, I see that it's too. I definitely don't want it to be fixed to the end of this thing. So I'm going to give it some padding. Borrowing from what I did at the top, let me give it a padding of 2 rem, see where that takes us. Okay, 2 rem works, but okay, 2 rem works, sure. I might have to touch that later because I feel like it's still too close to this place. So, but let's go with that for now. Let me even take a look and see. Yeah, this is definitely not that. This is definitely not 2rem that they have here. So I will just have to increase that space a little. Maybe we'll try 3rem, but I'm quite comfortable with the top and bottom, so I will just have to give some padding to the sides. So this is 2rem. This 2rem should go for the top and bottom, while I give this maybe 3rem for the left and right. Okay, that's better. So, but it now doesn't align with this, so I will have to still come and give some padding to the sides of this. So let me come back to my top container where I initially gave padding of 2rem. So like I said, I'm comfortable with the padding of the top and the bottom. I'm comfortable with how the top and bottom look, but I want to push this out a little bit. So let me just give some padding to the sides. So the top and bottom is okay. Let me give 3rem again here. Okay, I think this looks better. Okay, so let's continue styling. The next thing should be working on the monthly subscription. So this is what I have here. So let's check our HTML. Um okay, my monthly subscription is the H5 elements that I have. So um okay, basically everything I have here is actually text color of white, so I might as well add it inside here while I'm doing everything else. So let me just add the color of white here. Just add white. All right. So um sorry, quick one. Darlington, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. All right, so let's carry on. So I've given that a background color, sorry, a text color of white. So moving on, I would have to style the H5 elements. So the H5 for now, it looks quite small, and this is not what I want. I want this to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to currently it takes a font size of 16 pixels, which is why I apply to the entire body, but I want to make that bigger. So bottom one, the select the H5 under bottom one, and then give it a font size of 20 pixels. Okay, 20 pixels. Sorry. Okay, I think 20 is okay. All right, I'm basically done with that. The next thing I would want to touch is this $29. And if you recall, I put my $29 in a span. So let's select that. I'll just select simply the span that is inside my bottom one as usual. Okay, so please I'll give it a large font size, as you can see it's pretty much bigger than everything on the page. I'll give it 32 pixels. It's also quite bold. Where's that design? It's also quite bold, so I will increase the font weight. Recall that the fonts we copied the regular font weight was 400, and then the bold one was 700. So let me give this a font weight of 700, and yeah, that's that. Let's see. Okay, now these parts now I will have to now touch them because there's some kind of contrast there. This is lighter, this is lighter. So let me quickly work on those. Um Those ones are the paragraph elements of the span. This is also still okay. Well, I've already given it a more specific styling, so whatever I give you won't really affect it. So let me just select this the paragraph elements in the paragraph element in the bottom one, and then give it the color. I have this color already selected, HSL 4 3%, 3%. Okay. Okay, yes, that's it. Um okay, wow. So if you noticed, you can see that my paragraph element, my span also got lighter as I applied this thing. So I'm going to bring back that white color I want it to have, because I want it to remain white. So let me just give it the color of white. So it takes a more specific color than what I wanted. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I want it to look like. So this part, I want to touch this a bit, because this color is not exactly the same as this one. So I'm going to apply a different color to this one. So this color now, if you take a close look, you can see currently what I have in my documents. Let's take a look at my what I have so far. So far, they are both the same thing, right? But in the picture that they gave us, this part is lighter than this part. So I'm going to make this part. I'm going to work on it to make it lighter, so that we already have the color that we want it to have, but I also need to make it lighter. So let me still, I will select the same thing I selected earlier, which is the P element. They are both P elements, if you remember. This part P element, this part so is also a P element. But I'm trying to make this per month, I'm trying to make it lighter as what we have here. Sorry about that. This is where I am. So this part, I'm trying to make this part lighter as per what we have here, over here, this per month. So when you take a look, you can see that I have two P elements. This is the first one, this is the second one. So there's a social CSS selector that we can make use of. I'm going to make use of this CSS selector that says first of type. First of type will go and select, it will select the first P element only. You select only this first P element and leave the second one for me. So let's select this, and I will give it the color I want it to have, because I actually want it to be lighter than the other one. I'm going to give it this color. I'm going to give it this RGB. So I'm going to give it some kind of gray color. All right. I think I have what I need now. I think I have what I need. Maybe make it a little bit lighter. Let's try 0.5. See what that looks like. Okay, 0.5 is almost making it disappear. So let me just stick to my 0.7. So that's that basically for bottom one. So far we are close. So the next thing I have to do to complete this part is to work on my button. If you take a look, this is what we have as our button element here. So let me quickly do that. So I will select my button. um Remember, the button is a HTML tag over here. So I'll just select a button, no dots, no, it's not a class, it's a button on its own. It's a tag on its own. So I can just simply select it. So give the background color. Let's see the background color that they provided over here. Um I think this is the color for the button. Yeah, it's the same color as this. So I'm going to take that color, bright yellow. Where's it? So this will be the background color for my button. Let's paste it and be sure that this is what we want. Yeah, that's it. So that's the color I want for my button. Let's start working on it. The text color in my button will be white. It's currently black, which is not what I want. I want it to be white, so I'm going to give it that white color. And while I'm at it, I will also take out that border because I don't want my I don't want my button to have a border. So I'm going to take out the border one. Okay, that's what I have. So, but my button is still too tiny. So, um, let me work on that. Font size, maybe font size of 16 pixels. Let's see if 16 pixels. Okay, it's a bit bigger. And then I'm going to give this button some padding because this is definitely not what I want it to look like at the end of the day. So I'm going to have to give it some padding. Um, I'm going to give it a padding of let's say 16 pixels again. Okay, 16 pixels is okay, but I want to increase that a little bit. All right, so that's my button. Width, it has to have a width because the button is just here. You get, and the one I have is a little bit longer. If we refer back to the design again, the button I have here is a little bit longer. So I'm going to want my button to take up some width. So I want it to take up 100% of the width of the container that it's in. So I'm going to give that to it here. I'm going to give it a width of 100%. Yes, okay. So this is what I want my button to look like. So um my button has sharp edges. This one doesn't. So I'm going to have to apply some border ridges and just finish up the background and everything. So um I'm going to give it a border radius of 5 pixels. I'm going to give it a box shadow similar to what I had earlier. 1 pixel horizontal, 1 pixel vertical. I'm going to give it 5 pixels low value, and I'm going to make this light gray just like what I had earlier. So this is what I have. But light gray seems a little bit too dramatic. So let me try just gray. I think this looks way better. Um okay, so my button, I think there's something off about it. Okay, yes, the font here is not what I want it to be like. So I'm going to work on the font. Um the font doesn't apply here. Although I already gave a font to the body sharp, but doesn't apply inside the button. So I'm going to give it here color, which is the font I'm working with, and then sans serif. Okay, that's pretty much it. My button is dull, so I'm going to increase the font width. Um, font width of 700. Switch out to make it bolder. Okay, I think that looks better. I think that looks way better. So, all right, that's that. So, there's some space here. My button seems to be too close to my text, so I'm going to have to add some margin to it. So let me add, excuse me, let me add some margin. To rem. Just let it have to rem all around. That's not that's not it at all. Let me just add a top margin only. Okay, top margin of this is okay. But also, I also wanted to have some space from the bottom. Or is it just me? I also wanted to have some space from the bottom because let me look at what we have. Let me shall add one rem margin bottom, so it just has some space from the top and bottom. So let me just give you one rem. Okay, so I'll say this is done. I'll say this is done. So let's quickly just do the second part of the whole thing. So bottom two, back to bottom two. So when we did bottom one, we gave it a padding of 2 rem, 3 rem. I will do the same thing over here because as we all know, padding affects the size of an element. When you add padding to it, it makes the element, it affects the size of the element. Because if you recall, I gave these two things 50% weight, but now you can see that bottom one is obviously bigger than bottom two, and that's because I already gave it some padding of 3 rem, 3 rem here. So it now makes this element wider. So what it simply means is that it has increased the size of this, so I would have to do the same thing here so that it's still equal in size to this one. So I will come back here and give it a bottom, so I'll give it a padding quickly, padding of 2 rem. 2 rem, 3 rem. Okay, that's better. So I will have to select my elements quickly and then just style them. So the H5 element, which is Y os, right? So I'll have to select the H5 Y os and then give it the color. So select my bottom to H5. I'll give it a font size of what was the font size I gave to the other one? Because I basically okay, give me the font size of 20 pixels. Let me give this 20. What's that? Let me give this a font size of 20 pixels. Okay, so it's a bit on the same size with this. But I did give this a color here, so let me just add the color here. Basically, everything in my bottom two is white, so let me just I might as well put the color in here. Color white, which is the text color. So that's the black color. Okay, this is what I needed to have. Um, while we're at it, I think I'm done with my H5. The P bottom two. I'll select the paragraph elements inside there. My paragraph elements are a bit lighter than the entire color. So I'm going to give them a specific color of their own, which is what I want to have here. So I'm just going to give it a color of same color I gave here. Where's that? Yeah, the same color I had here. I will just put the same thing in for them because it's basically the same color I'm trying to achieve over here. So let me just paste that in. All right, so this is what I want, but this the line height is a bit too much for me. So the automatic line height is 1, but this is a bit too much, so I'm just going to reduce it. So I'm going to give it line height of 0 point something. So let me try 0.5. Okay, 0.5 is too crunched together. 0.7 to the rescue. All right, so that's what I want. That's what I want. So far I think we are pretty much close, or we are even done because this is starting to look like what we have here. So that is it for our desktop view. So let me quickly touch this, the attribution, and then we'll carry on to the mobile view. The mobile view will be done in less than 15 minutes. The mobile view is not really much work. So let me work on the attribution quickly. So remember they gave us the attribution, they gave us the styles over here. So I'm just going to take out these styles from here. Just going to cut them and work on them in the CSS. So I'll take what I want from what they've given me and I'll take out the ones I don't want. So make sure nothing will change it. Alright, so let me paste this in. This is what they gave me. Attribution. Basically, this is their own suggestion. Sha. If you don't want it, you can do what you want with your own. Alright, so okay, so my attribution, I'm going to increase the font size. It's currently 11 pixels. I don't want it to be 11 pixels, so I'm going to increase it 14 pixels. Text align of center. Okay, it's a little bit more visible now. What else do I want to add? I'm going to have to change the colors. This is currently black and this blue. I don't want this blue here, so I'm going to have to take that out. That's for the A elements. Those parts that are underlined are the hypertext. The links that we have, that's this my name and the front end mentor over here. So they are in the A element. So that's basically what we have here, the attribution A. So this is the color that they have. I don't want to use this color, so I already have my own color that I selected for this particular thing. So let me just change it. I'm going to give this a color of what do I have here? Sorry about that. Okay, so I have this color 179, 100%, 22%. That's the color I have. I'll take out the underline. I don't like the underline, so I'll just take it out. Text decoration will be none. And what next? All right. So this is it. I don't like this. I don't want this to be black, Sha. I don't know if it's just me. So I want to give it something similar to this color, basically. So let me still take that color. I have it somewhere. I think this is my color for bottom two. Yes, this is it. So I'm going to just take this color and give it to that. All this part is actually just personal taste anyway. So if you have something else you would want to style your attribution at, please feel free to do that. So this is what I want. I will, while I'm at it, let me just increase this font size. I feel like 14 pixels is too small. So this is what I have. I like to break it. I like to add a break over here so that it doesn't seem it's so that it will be a little bit more readable. So this is what I like my work to look like. So basically we are done with this share. So let's quickly work on um the the mobile view quickly. So let me get this. All right, so this is what I want it to look like. This is where we style our mobile view from here. So remember that I said last week that when you've done your CSS for the desktop view and everything, once you have it, whatever styles you have here it will apply according to what you did in your desktop view. So if you don't change it in your mobile view, it does the same thing for you over here. But if you want it to change in your mobile view, then you have to apply more specific styles to it. So let's just get in here. So we're working with media queries. Media queries is what allows you to um, give particular styles to your CSS for your what's it called, for your mobile views, so that your website can be more mobile responsive. I'm going to give this a max width of 415 pixels. If you were here last week, might have remembered when I mentioned it last week that this style, this 415 is just, I have to bring this up because I feel like this is a size that will cover for most mobile phones that you have. Most phones are either 375 or 360 or 320 or 400 and something. So according to the style they gave us here, Sha, they actually suggested that we make use of 375 pixels. So, but I prefer to use 415. I prefer to take it just a bit higher so that it basically covers any kind of phone screen that you have. So let's get started with that. So far this is what we have, and if you take a look at my website here, my container is still taking up that 50% I gave it from the desktop, because now this is what it's like. So, but I don't want it to be like this. So I'm going to have to make this a little bit wider. So I'm going to start styling from my container element. So container, I have to increase the size. Let's start from there. I'm going to give it 80, a width of 85%. So let's just really 85% of the viewport width. And let's see. Okay, this is so much better. Um that's that. So the next thing I would want to work on is my top container. So um my top container seems, I think it seems okay. Right. Let me get the mobile view so that we can be comparing what we're doing. Um Here's the mobile design. So this is what I'm trying to achieve anyway. So let's just have it here so that we can be looking closely to it. So yeah, I have this. So let me look at my top container. Where's my website? Okay, so this is what I have. I seem to have too much padding over here. I seem to have too much padding. So let me see if I can take that out, because according to what I have here, the padding here is a little bit lesser. So I initially added the padding of two rem top and bottom, and the three rem left and right. So I'm going to override that by adding a padding of two rem all around. Let me see if that does anything for me. Okay, that's way better. So while I'm at it, I think this is okay for now. I think this is okay. Let's work on the bottom containers for now and then get back. So for my bottom container, you can see that it still has the display of flex. So which basically makes it to appear side by side and obviously take up 50% weight. So we're going to work on this. So while the display, I said initially that the display, the automatic display direction is flex, is a horizontal. When you have display flex, the automatically it automatically gives you a horizontal direction. So if you want something that looks like what we have, you would have to change the flex direction. So let me just quickly do that over here with my bottom container. I'm going to give it. You remember that at the start we gave our bottom container a display of flex, right? So I'm going to come back here and also give it a display of flex, and just change my flex direction to become column. So this is what I have. This is what I have. Well, as you can see, it's not really getting to the what's it called? It doesn't reach the edge of the container. It doesn't reach the edge of the container because of the initial width I gave it. So I'm going to try to touch the width and have it come up. So let me give this a. I gave this. The container has a width of 85% of the viewport width. So let me give the container here a width of 85% and see if it aligns with what I have. Remember that CSS is mostly a game of calculations anyway. So you have to work with your calculations. Okay, this is not. I've given it it's a. Let me. I won't see it until I apply it to my bottom one and bottom two. So let me try bottom one. I've given the bottom container a width of 85%. The bottom one, which is contained inside it, will have to take up 100% of the weight. You get, because basically it gets its weight from the container that is carrying it. And when you look at the bottom container, it doesn't really have so much. Let me take a look at this. The bottom container on its own doesn't really have any weight like that, you get. So this one now, the bottom one and bottom two have to take up 100% of the parent container. And from here, I've given their parent container a width of 85%. So when I give this one now a width of 100%, it's supposed to fill up everything that I want it to be. Okay, so you can see what this is what I want to achieve. Well, not exactly what I want to achieve anyway, but this is what I'm saying. So the 85% now is, now we can see that it's overflowing, right? So I will have to bring it down from here. Instead of touching here, this is where I will have to touch now. So, or even if I let me try giving this a width of 80% and see what happens. Okay, starting to come together. But I prefer to just work on the container sha. I feel like that makes it a little bit easier for me. Let me just give it a width of 80% from here. It doesn't do anything for me. So okay, still has that a little bit off. I'll still it's still off a little bit, so I have to bring it in. Or instead let me leave it at that 85 and instead work on this one. Let me work on this. I have 80%. I will have to increase that just slightly. Let's try 83%. 83% is not quite there. Let's try 85. 85 look like why. 85 is close. It's still not. There's some space. There's a little bit of space here. Let me just make it 86 now. I guess it should work. All right, all right. This is it. So or even that seems to overflow a little bit too. Um, can you do something like it's 5.5? Okay, I think this is more accurate. I think this is more accurate. So yeah, let's just go with this. So anyway, moving on. The border radius from the top, it still applies here. So I will just have to take it out quickly. So bottom one, border radius of, I will give it a border radius of 0, so that border radius disappears. All right, so it's off. So what did I just do? Okay, four. Okay, so let me do bottom two. Um, as usual, it will have to take the same weight that bottom one took now, of course, because they are like basically contained in the same parent container, so their weight would have to be the same thing. So I'm going to give it that same weight of what did I give it? 85.5%, right? Still border radius of 0. Let's take a look at that. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much it. But the border radius here have 10 pixels, 10 pixels. So basically my entire container has a border radius of 10 pixels. Even down here it has a border radius of 10 pixels, but because this one takes it takes some 0 all around, you can't really see it. It's now hidden. So I would have to um give it the same 10 pixels on the bottom too. So this place will take 0, this place will take 0, the remaining two will take 10 pixels. Let me just give that 10 pixel, 10 pixel. Okay, so this is pretty much what I want my container to look like. Um, let's look at this now. whether there's anything we need to add full access for more than a day. Okay, I think that's it so far. Um, I'll just have to add the padding because this one too there's just still some space here. Let me just add some, what's it called? Let me add that same padding I did for the top container. So recall I added padding of two top and bottom, three left and right. So to take that left and right out, let me just, I will just have to override it over here by giving it a padding of two to everything. So all sides will have a padding of two So let me give that here. And okay, it doesn't do what I wanted to do. That's funny. I will have to add that's here instead. Here too. Okay. All right. So this is what I want. This is what I want. But if you notice, this this stuff is funny. Well, I will have to work on the weight again anyway. So let's try that. I'll have to increase my weight now. That's basically what it means. So let's try 90% and see what that does for us. 90% is, why do I keep playing with this stuff? 414. Okay, so 90% is not quite there. 95. Trying to get my weight. Okay, no. 96 has to do it. All right. So that's the weight I'm trying to look out for. So I'll give you the same thing over here. 96%. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's compare it to what we have here. Um Gain access to our full library of tutorials, everything only by currency. Okay, so I think we're done. Except the width now. I might have to touch the width of this because I like to make my text look exactly the same as what they have. So to do that, I usually mess with the width. So their own says gain access to a full library of tutorials. This and then this. Okay, so basically, I will have to probably increase the width of my paragraph so that it looks like exactly the same as this. So let's look at that again. So what I will have to touch is the top container paragraph elements. Where is that? So I'll have to select that specifically. Let me give top container the key element, which is the paragraph. That's what I'm trying to touch. So this I think maybe this one you can say is it can be optional if you don't want to, if you don't mind leaving your work like that. But I just like to make my work look exactly the same as what they have. So 90% makes this a bit smaller for me. So let me just increase the width from here. 95%. No. Let's even try 100% first of all. Let me even be sure that it's taking 100%. Okay, it's actually taking 100% of the stuff. Oh. It's actually taking
Hello, Manuela, are you still there? I think I just lost you.
let me see. Where did I added a padding to the top container, a padding of 2 rem. So let me take this out. So let me give the top 2 rem. I'm trying to take out the padding on the right, so I'm going to give it 0 and give everything else 2 rem. 2 rem. So I basically want to maintain the padding on all the sides except on the right side. So so now You can see that 100% is wider. So um let me now touch that. Let me try a padding of 95%, a width of 95% rather. Okay. Um, Gain access to our tutorial. That's what they have. Tutorials. Perfect for learning the skills. All right. This seems a bit too close here, Sha. Unlike here. So let me see if I give a let me try give you one rem. So it doesn't seem too close to the edge. Um Increase the sorry, I hope you guys. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm doing here, Sha. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to drop, Sha. I'm just like I'm basically playing around with my text now, so I'm trying to get the text to look exactly the same as what they have in their mobile design. So that's basically what I'm trying to do, Sha. But we are basically done so far. Like we are done with our mobile view, as you can see. We're done with our mobile view. We're done with our desktop view. So I'm just trying to get my text to look as close to theirs as possible. So let's just keep trying to touch that. So I had this at 95 initially. I had this at zero. Zero has no units. This is what I had initially, but let's see. Okay, this stuff is not really giving me what I wanted to give me, Sha. It's just that I'm not really comfortable with this, how close it is over here. Otherwise, I think this is done. Oh. You get, but
Yeah,
I
I actually
just, I
think this.
sorry,
Yeah, this. Yeah, I actually think this is okay though. I don't know. Are you trying to
Abby.
like get? Yeah, this is actually okay.
Yeah. Okay. No, what I'm trying to do is see the text now. The way that the text is. See how my own text is now. The gain access to a full library of tutorials, everything. So I'm trying to get it to look exactly like this, like the same number of words on the same line, exactly the same thing. Like, do you get how their text is here? So
Yeah, yeah, I
that's what I'm
get.
trying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
get.
that's
I
what I'm trying
get.
to achieve by messing with the width and everything. So, but we're basically done with the work, oh, but I'm just trying to achieve that you get by trying to touch the width and everything. So, but this is what we have, which is quite close to what is on their text so far. But I feel like the space here now is the padding here is a little bit too tight. But it might just be my eyes, Sha. Might just be my eyes. So basically, when I'm walking like this, this is what I spend my whole time doing, trying to get that pixel perfect outlook. But anyway, this is what we have so far. So this is our work, and the entire game aim of this class is to help us understand what how media queries work, and I hope that so far we've gotten a good idea of that. Um, I hope that we've gotten a good idea of what media queries look like and how they work in CSS. So that's that. We're done with our desktop view. We're done with our mobile view. Trying to get back
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Could you go
the
back to the desktop view again so we
yeah.
could
That's what I'm trying
actually
to.
see that again? Yeah.
Here.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. So
This is this
this
is
is our
perfect.
this is the
Yeah.
desktop and the mobile view. Let me see this. Okay, this one social. I would have wanted to I would have wanted to play with this with too, but that might take us extra time. Anyway, guys, I'm sure you get the idea now. So if you like to have your work really perfect, like myself, then you might want to touch the width of this so that it gives you exactly the same width as what they have here. You get, so you can just do that. Basically what you have to do is to touch the width of your paragraph, and CSS is basically a trial and error and a lot of adding um these calculations in your head basically. So you can just do that and try to find out the perfect width that will give you exactly the text that they have the way they have it. But this is pretty much the work that we were expected to do, and I believe we've done justice to that when we make comparison. So yeah, so that's how media queries work. I hope this project has given you an idea of how to use media queries, or at least a deeper insight to how media queries work. So at this point, I don't know if there are any questions. Sha. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them here so that I can take them quickly and we can finish up.
Okay, guys. So if you have any questions, you could just drop it now, as we are already way behind time. So if you've got any
Yeah.
questions, just drop it in the chat, and we'll attend to it. Okay, so because of those who would probably be rewatching this later, if you still have any questions too, you could probably drop it on our WhatsApp group chat, and we'll attend to your questions. Yeah, so and yeah, just like I said earlier, this video would be available on our YouTube channel. So in case you weren't able to get to the end with us, probably because of time constraints or um network issues, you could go back to blockchain UNN's YouTube channel, and the videos will always be there for you. So I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that stayed with us till this moment. Thank you so much. And I want to also say a very big thank you to Emanuela for the knowledge she shared with us tonight. I believe everyone that attended the session tonight should have a proper understanding of media queries by now. And we are very sorry for exceeding our time limit. We would probably work on this and hope it doesn't happen again. So but I think this wraps up today's session. I don't know, Manuela, do you want to say any other thing?
Not really, not really. I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming around, and thank you to Darlington for hosting the session and everything. Well, basically, thank you everyone for coming around and staying with us up till now. Um, yeah, that's that.
Okay now. So thank you guys once again. And so we hope to catch up with you guys this time next week. Okay, next week we'll probably be having a Twitter space. So
It's with that,
if you
yeah,
are new
yeah.
to yeah, so if you are new to blockchain UNN's activities, just send us a message on WhatsApp, and we'll probably attend to you. So thank you so much for coming around, guys. We greatly appreciate, and do have a lovely night rest. Okay. Yeah, good night, everyone.
All right, good night.
Okay, now, yeah, good night, Manila.